Well, people, it's time to bring on the salt after yesterday. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Mitch, you didn't like the election, you got sick of it. Yeah, but there was one thing I was waiting for that I didn't tell anybody because, well, I forgot. And that is, I was waiting for the reaction of whoever lost to just make fun of them. I'm non-partisan here, so I was going to take the piss out of anybody who was losing. I failed to do it when Trudeau won in Canada against Rebel Media and all the other, Stephen Harper fans and who have you, who were butthurt. And I actually failed to do it to the Remain camp because I was so burned out. And I failed to do it to the Brexit lot as well because they're getting butthurt over a decision that doesn't necessarily mean the end of Brexit. They just need to vote on Brexit in Parliament. Hopefully for you guys, Brexit will happen. If it doesn't, that's democracy failing. But today, let's just concentrate on the American election reaction from the Young Turks. More specifically, my bae, Anna Kasparian, who's really sad today. Really, really sad. And she has a few choice words for the women who voted for Trump. Take it away, Anna.
I have no respect for women who voted for Trump.
Oh, well, that's very tolerant of you, Anna Kasparian. I thought we were all about spreading tolerance and equality here at TYT. I didn't know that it was okay to be intolerant of people who disagree with you, especially those who happen to share the same genitals. Do trans women count? The ones who voted for Trump, that is?
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I do. No wrong think here.
I think so poorly of them, and the reason why is because, look, I don't think that you're a single issue voter. I just think you're dumb.
It's not because I think you're a single issue voter. I have no problem with that. As long as it's the issue that I agree with, that is Hillary Clinton's awful, but we'll vote for her anyway because we don't like Trump. We don't like anything remotely right-wing or anybody that could actually help solve some issues. Potentially, we have some common ground here. No, identity politics only. No, I just think you're dumb, even though I'm stupid enough to criticise you for voting for the future that you wanted but was taken away from you because Bernie didn't get elected to be the Democratic nomination. No, instead, you should have voted Hillary because it's your sworn duty to stick with the party line, to only vote blue because you are a blue, and not vote red because you've been betrayed and Hillary Clinton does not represent you, but Trump doesn't either, but he's more of a lesser evil. Yeah, that's a dumb decision. You're all just dumb because you voted Trump. You're dumb because you're women who voted Trump. But you're not dumb if you voted Hillary, even though TYT don't like Hillary. Yeah. Good one, Anna.
Okay? I think you're fucking dumb.
You're an idiot and a scammer.
When you vote for someone who openly treats women like second-class citizens.
Anna, you do know the pussy grabbing thing was a joke, and he was describing celebrity culture and how women, and some men too, will allow someone who is famous, that they like in particular, to do things that they wouldn't let plebs do. You do know that's what he was saying, right? He never actually said that he openly treats women like second-class citizens. He actually hasn't shown anything like that. And trust me, he said a lot of dumb things, but that was one thing you guys really got wrong on him. Like, he's never actually shown anything like that. I don't think I've seen anything that shows that he likes or dislikes women, unless you mean that he likes attractive young women, and that's an issue because he's an old 70-year-old, as if that's somehow a bad thing.
Who talks about them as if they're nothing more than a piece of meat.
He talks about the opposite sex like any other normal human being would do behind closed doors, when they're bantering and talking about all their sexual exploits or what people are like. Yeah, it's not like you've gone and fat-shamed a man for being on your stage and then at the same time say that that's a bad thing, because that's treating him like he's a piece of meat, by the way, Anna. I don't think you really should be going there.
Who has been accused of sexually assaulting them.
Yeah, and his opposite number has been accused of allegedly allowing her husband to abuse and assault women. So why is it that when Trump is accused of it, it's the most horrible thing in the world, but when Bill and Hillary are accused of it, they didn't do nothing? Even though it is all alleged, people, and you know my opinions on it, both sides are hypocritical in this whole mess of debauched accusations. But yeah, don't go around flinging shit when your own side has the exact same accusations leveled at them.
Who has been caught on tape talking about groping them and grabbing them by the pussy without consent.
Did you actually watch the tape? You actually did watch the tape, didn't you? Because you guys covered it, right? Then you would find that he was actually talking about them consenting to him or somebody else, hypothetically grabbing them by the pussy. He's saying they allow him to do that. He never said that he was doing it without their consent and they'd let him do it, or he's allowed to do that, or he can just do it anyway and get away with it. He wasn't talking about that. He quite clearly said they consent to him doing things that they wouldn't allow anybody else to do because he's Donald Trump. Stop lying, Anna. Stop lying, okay? This is like the most blatant lie. And again, people, with the flip side, Bill's been accused of this, Hillary's been accused of facilitating it. Don't throw stones in your glass houses, okay?
Yeah, you're an idiot. You're an idiot, yes. Okay? You are voting against your best interests.
I'm sorry, Anna, but you are not the spokeswoman for all women. You do not speak for all women. You have no idea what these individual women's interests actually are. If they think that voting for Trump is in their best interests, he's in their best interests. Despite what you may think, what I may think, what they might think. They think he's in their best interests, he's in their best interests. And besides, what's the alternative? Hillary? I mean, there's Jill Stein and Gary Johnson, but they're only marginally better than the other two. And again, they don't have the support that they have because despite all the talks about the two-party system being broken, nobody can actually try and vote against it. But hey, whatever. Let's just continue, people.
I'm losing my mind tonight because of how stupid the majority of the country is.
I'm sorry, but it's not the majority of the country here that is at fault. I think you'll find it's people like you, Anna, people like Hillary Clinton, people like Lacey Green, your organisation, the TYT, the whole regressive left. It's all your fault. Now, it's not your fault that Bernie didn't get elected. Now, let's just be fair to TYT here, people. They did actually vote for the best Democratic candidate, but he didn't get him. Your party, your part of the left, is the reason why Trump is in power. Because people are sick to death of this political correctness bullshit. They are sick of their rights being threatened by these hard left people who have taken over and are now running the countries of the Western world, at least most of them, and injecting this identity politics and authoritarian leftist philosophy onto the people, and they don't like it because it's stifling. So they vote someone who they know. Most people know that he's shit. They know he's not the greatest person in the world. They know he's probably not going to do anything, but he's better than the alternative. A regressive, authoritarian flip-flopper who's only interested in the services she can provide to Wall Street, to the corporations, and also she wants to start a war with Russia because she has this obsession with a no-fly zone. Yet apparently Trump is going to start World War III, the isolationist. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a self-hate is real when it comes to women.
Feminists, ladies and gentlemen, it's only sexist when we do it, but not when they do it. The self-hate is real when it comes to women. Really? Imagine if a man said that. Imagine if that guy sat right next to Anna said that. They would be livid that he said that, but because in this context, it's a Latino woman saying it, it's okay, apparently. How do you know these women hate themselves? How do you know they're voting for Trump because they hate themselves? This is utterly repulsive, what you guys are saying here. They're stupid. They hate themselves. Internalized misogyny, internalized depression. Am I now talking to a bunch of Zana Joshis here? Look, they don't agree with you. That's why they voted for Trump. Or maybe they do agree with you, but they hate Hillary more than you lot supposedly do. And they voted for the one person who they thought would keep her out. You guys were willing to betray your principles just to keep him out because you're partisan. You're stupid. You are genuinely stupid, and you would risk all that you know and love for a warmonger. Well done, people. Well done. These women are stupid. These women hate themselves, but you don't. You love each other. That's why you wanted to vote for Hillary over someone who's not actually as bad, even though he has quite a lot of bad qualities himself.
I don't think I keep saying it over and over again, and people were like, oh, you're on this soapbox, this feminism soapbox. As a Latina woman, I tell you, I've heard it over and over again in my family. There's no way a woman can run the country.
You know, just because you're a Latina woman does not mean that you have made any valid point here. Anecdotal evidence does not mean that, therefore, Trump is bad and these women are stupid. Your family may or may not have said a woman can't run the country. So maybe they actually said this woman, Hillary, can't run the country because she's fucking crazy. She's awful. She's ill-qualified. She's just completely and utterly corrupt in every way. But hey, apparently that means all women can't run the country, even though it's been proven around the world that women can run countries, for better or for worse. And it's exactly that feminist shit that is why Hillary has lost and Trump has won. But whatever. Let's all put our heads in the sand like ostriches and pretend that we did nothing wrong. TYT, and the Kasparian, the regressive left, we didn't do nothing. We didn't do nothing. It's all the white people's fault. It's all the self-hating women's fault. It's the right-wingers' fault. It can't possibly be our mistakes.
Really? We're in a household where we are raising a large percentage of the country as single mothers. We have to budget money that we don't have. We raise people that go get post-secondary educations. How is it that we cannot run a country?
Maggie Thatcher had a family. She had 2 kids and a husband. That wasn't the reason why she was qualified to run the Conservative Party and systematically take down all opposition in that party, because believe me, she had a hell of a lot of opposition in the Conservative Party until she gained power and cast them all off. She had political acumen. She was ruthless. She was cunning. She could manipulate people. She could get people on her side. She could motivate people. She could convince people. She didn't always have to be ruthless to them. I'm not saying she was great. I disagreed with pretty much all her policies apart from the Falklands. But that does not take away the fact that her qualifications as a leader, for a country, is quite clear to see. Running a household, raising the kids, being single mothers, which, by the way, fathers exist, by the way. So do fathers who have to go out and earn all that money, if they're around at all, the ones who actually are mostly in the leadership positions in the Western world, in fact, the whole world in general, they can also do all these things as well? Do they therefore have the chance to be president as well? No, you wouldn't say that, because men already have all the rights.
They have brainwashed these women.
What, and the regressive left hasn't brainwashed most of an entire generation of people who are now currently in the university system to believe in social justice, to believe in this radical feminism, or just feminism in general, which is actually causing huge issues for our countries and the world at large, and it's the reason why the hard right is on the rise and why Trump is in power. Yeah, that's not brainwashing. That's just bringing them up right, isn't it?
When you hear those women, when they go out and they interview those Trump supporters, I just don't trust her.
This is why throughout history we have ages of extremes, and why I like to call it the pendulum shifts from left to right, because people just cannot respect the intelligence of the average person. Look, they're not the smartest people in the world, and of course George Carlin was right. The average person is pretty stupid, but there are more people stupider than that. However, they're not that stupid that they cannot see somebody is corrupt, that they cannot see that somebody is not trustworthy, especially a flip-flopper like Hillary. You don't need to be brainwashed to see the glaringly obvious. Just a simple Google search, or go on YouTube and see all the videos where you see her contradicting herself and changing her opinions because she wants votes. Most of these people are not brainwashed. They're just sick and tired of the same old neocon, neoliberal bullshit.
Don't trust her. And I'm with you. I don't respect women, specifically who voted for a man who is going to be on trial for sexually assaulting a child.
Yeah, and Bill Clinton was impeached for basically lying in court over sexual harassment. Now, it wasn't over children, it was over a adult, but no consent is no consent, right? No means no. Yes means yes, right, people? Again, don't start throwing your stones in your glass houses. And as for this trial, well, who cares? because most likely he will walk away because there's no evidence to suggest that he did it, and an accusation is not evidence. But you see, this is the thing. He can go to trial with an accusation alone, or at least get sued. I don't know whether or not he's been charged with actual assault/rape or what have you, but women don't get that. Women can get away with it. You have to actually have evidence that they did it. And even then, they'll get away with it because they can just make up any old excuse and the judge will believe them.
A pedophile.
Yeah.
Guilty until proven innocent, people, because he's a paedophile, even if he hasn't been proven to be one. Yeah, sure.
Like, let's talk about grown-ass women who, because what did Dave Chappelle say?
I
Well,
think that charge has got dropped. I mean, I think she's not going to pursue it.
Well then, even more proof that the chances are that the accusations are spurious and made up, because, believe it or not, this is what people can do. So then he's not a paedophile, and he's not someone who gropes women, he's not someone who sexually assaults or rapes them. So your entire argument there has just been proven null and void by, I think, Jimmy, of all people. The spitting cunt that he is has disproven your point. Well done. Well done, Jimmy. You did a service. I didn't even have to do anything there.
He's not going on trial for that. Not now.
No shit, mate. Now look, people, and social justice warriors especially, let me just be clear here. I don't support Trump. I don't particularly like Trump. I don't particularly like Hillary either. I hate them both. I would abstain if I was American. That's what I would do. That is my democratic right to do so. I can abstain. But what I don't like is this shaming. I know I may have come across as pro-Trump there, but I wasn't trying to. This is what happens when you defend people, when you defend their supporters, and you technically defend him too. I don't like people being the subject of falsehoods. I've defended regressives as well. I've defended SJWs. Just look at Dick Coughlin, for example. I defended him against falsehoods and lies. So you can't say that I'm one or the other. But the fact of the matter is, feminists and social justice warriors, they always do this. They always do this. They shame women for either not voting or for voting for someone that they disagree with. Every single time. And they'll always say, look, we, which wasn't them, by the way, it was people who have been long since dead. But let's get back on point here. Gave you the vote. We gave you these rights. Therefore, you're going to vote the way that we want you to. Even though women can make their own choices, have their own minds. No, women should vote for only feminism's interests, for women's interests, and not their own individual interests or their families, or even their political ideologies that aren't feminist or left-leaning or what have you, interests. No, just one interest and one interest only. The sisterhood. And Anna really fucking pissed me off in this one, and it probably shouldn't have ran on as long as it has done this video, so I'm going to end it here. This has been Charming Man 93. Like and share the video, subscribe to my channel, and until next time, I'll see you all later.
Grab him by the pussy.